Do you wake up in the morning and your hair looks like this, but you want it to look like this? I'm gonna show you how to get it that way. In this video, I will cover the different products that I use for refreshing. I will show you how I use the DENMAN brush in various ways to refresh. I will show you the various ways that I use steam, and I will even give you some hair hacks if you are struggling with oil. You'll see 3 different refreshes plus the results. The timestamps for everything will be down in the description, as well as all products used will be listed down in the description as well. So buckle up. This is not going to be open road. It is going to be windy in the mountains with curve. I tried. If it's your first time here, my name's Jannelle. We do all things curly and then some, and let's get to it. So sometimes you gotta refresh completely fluffy hair. I washed my hair in the morning yesterday. Because I was getting it cut, I used pretty lightweight products and not a ton of hold. I wanted enough to like really keep it in place, but I used very, very minimal. So my hair fluffed out a little bit. Plus, it has been super foggy the last 2 mornings. So my hair just, woo! A day like today is kind of unique for me and probably for a lot of you. Most of the time when I'm refreshing, and as you'll see in this video, most of the time I'm adding water, and most of the time my hair needs a little bit more water. Between a really good moisturizing wash day yesterday and all of the humidity and fog in the air, my hair is super moisturized. It just has absolutely no definition and no hold. What we're going to do for this refresh is no water. We're going to use refreshing stylers that are intended to go on dry hair. So this is the Mixed Chicks Morning After Redefining Foam, and this is the Jessie Curl Awe-Inspiring Spray. We're going to do one on each side so you can see how they perform. So we're gonna start with the Awe-Inspiring. Shake bottle, then spray directly onto dry curls. It is concentrated, so we don't need a lot. My top layer, always the most resistant, so I'm gonna spray, smooth, and scrunch. You can already see those curls bouncing back. I'm gonna give that a second to see what it does while we apply the Mixed Chicks Morning After Foam. I'm gonna grab all of it. Typically when I use this, I already have a little bit more definition. So I a lot of times focus on individual curls versus all over. But as you can see, I have no definition, had none, getting some. Already on both sides, there's a substantial difference. There's actually curls in my hair, not just fluff. You can see where some of my areas quite haven't gotten enough product, aren't quite bouncing up. So what I'm going to do here as well is add a little bit more foam, smooth, and then DENMAN brush, and then we will just take these curls that are resisting, give them a little shake, and scrunch. Last thing I'm gonna do to each side is I'm gonna take a little bit more of the product and smooth down any of the frizz from the fluff. The last thing I do, pretty much on any refresh, if I add moisture, whether through products or water, is to clip my roots up so that as it sets, my roots set up. I'm gonna dry and I'll see you in a minute. So root clips are out. Hair has not been fluffed, but it is dry. As a reminder, on this side I use the Mixed Chicks Morning After Foam. This side I use the Jessie Curl Awe-Inspiring Spray. This is probably more often my go-to. It does seem to give a little bit more volume, and it does also give a slight cast. There's a little bit, not a ton, but a little bit of crunch. I would say that it didn't boost definition as much, and you can also like feel the product in there. It's not heavy at all. It's not a heavy product, but you can definitely, some of y'all will know what I'm talking about. You can definitely feel that there is product in my hair. Where coming over to this side with the Jessie Curl Awe-Inspiring Spray, it definitely gives way more definition, and it feels like I added nothing to my hair. Also, I would say boosts moisture more than this side. So now we're gonna fluff. Hello. So last thing I'm gonna do is just break this up a little bit. Not too much, don't need to piss off the grays. A refreshing foam or spray is a really good option to go. If you don't have time, if you don't want to use water or don't really need to add water to your hair, or if you are on the go. And hello, you saw my hair before. All right, see you on the next refresh. Another day, same sweatshirts. I would blame it on Corona, but that would be a lie. This is just my life. Take me as I am or make fun of me in the comments. We are going to refresh with the DENMAN brush. So the first thing I decide is if I want to add more product to my hair or if I just want to use the existing product. One of the reasons I tend to use a little bit more product on wash day is because I like to extend my wash day out as long as possible. 2 times a week's max, and sometimes that's even adventurous. Most of the products that I use reactivate when they get a little bit wet. So a lot of times I don't even have to add more product. I just need to add a little bit more water, rework my hair, get it back in shape. This wash day, as I explained, is not quite that case. So now I am going to add a little bit more product and mostly for hold. The cool thing about refreshing with a DENMAN brush is that you don't have to fully re-wet. You can literally target like the curls and the sections that need it. Essentially kind of like a curl by curl refresh, kind of made popular by my friend Renee, Brunette with Bounce, just adding the DENMAN brush. First thing I do is I use a little bit of water and pick out curls, grab the curl, I put my palm in between the water and the rest of my hair so that the water is literally just going on the specific curl that I want it. And we mist, smooth. This helps replace the frizz. And we grab our handy dandy DENMAN brush and I come from underneath. I do not go all the way to my root and I curl forward. And then you can direct it and then I scrunch. Keeping my palm in between the rest of my hair and the moisture. I'm not getting anything wet that I don't want wet. And scrunch. Like see already, way more consistent curl. Plus sides of this refresh are literally that you can just target the areas that need refreshing. It also is like a big boost of definition in a way that doesn't kill the overall volume. The best of both worlds is that I'm going to get because I really get that definition without sacrificing the volume. When doing this refresh, you can literally do your entire head, but for the most part, I just focus on base framing pieces here and like this area a little bit, and then the pieces up top. I'm gonna use the OUIDAD Climate Control Gel. It's been humid here, quarter size amount maybe a little bit less. And now here, going to emulsify really good, and then I'm going to more like smooth it in and scrunch. Last trick are the little flyaways. Going to add a little bit more gel, and this is where we're just going to use like a drop. Spray water directly into our hand, mix it with the gel, then we're going to smooth over the top. And you're using your fingers kind of like you would with raking, but more so pressing in versus fully extending the fingers in and raking down. So we're just pressing those little flyaways back in and smoothing. And then just to ensure that your hair doesn't get stuck flat to the root, you can still come back in from under and scrunch. And then of course also add root clips. So when I apply them, I literally just grab a chunk and clip in. It's potentially going to cause a teeny bit of frizz, but it's very minimal. And the frizz that it's going to cause is going to be from underneath, which is going to serve towards more volume. Another huge perk, and one of the reasons I love refreshing with the DENMAN brush, is it also kind of serves as a midweek detangling. And by the time I get to wash day, I've noticed that my tangles tend to be substantially less, ultimately making wash day easier. There you go, DENMAN brush, curl by curl, refreshing. See you when it's done. Look at that. It's perfection. We've got hold, we've got definition, we've got even better looking than day one curls in my opinion, and there you go. All right, see you on the next refresh. Let's talk steam. Steam refreshes have been my go-to pretty much since I started wearing my hair curly. There's a lot of ways to get steam to your hair. There's some very, very simple that are already part of your routine, and there's some fun extra gadgets that you can get where you can have a little bit more control over how and where the steam hits your hair. The two biggest reasons that I love steam, and I have used it for years, is A, it adds a little bit of moisture without really having to re-wet your hair, and then also the volume. And you just need a little pick-me-up of moisture, or sometimes you don't even necessarily need moisture, but you just need to reactivate the products that are in your hair. Steam is perfect for that. First, let's talk steam in the shower. What I love about this is it doesn't add an additional step to my routine. All you need is whatever you put your hair up with. When I shower with the intention of using the steam to refresh, I only wrap this around once. I also tend to put it more in a ponytail location so that when I'm washing my face, I can push it back. If I'm washing my body, I can push it forward. If you have longer hair, you can also use a little clip like I do for sleeping, wrap it around and just loosely clip it. So at the very end of my shower, facing away from my shower head, I pull my little ponytail out. I like to lean forward and get it so my curls are draped around my face. I hang in the steam for a second, let the steam kind of do its thing, and also you can scrunch a little bit. And if you notice any areas that for sure you want to add water to, while still in this position, you can see most of your curls and you can know, okay, maybe this one needs a little bit more water. Reach your hand in, grab, smooth, scrunch. And then you're done. Once I get out of the shower, then I take a look and see again, like, did my product reactivate really well? Is there anything, you know, that maybe I want a little bit more hold or a little bit more definition? And then I style it from there. And then I air dry for the most part, do my root clips as you've seen. Done. I mentioned earlier that there are also tools that provide steam. So the first tool I think I ever saw being used for steam was my friend Elaine on Instagram was using a garment steamer. If any of you follow Mains by Mel, I'm sure you've seen her use a facial steamer. I personally haven't bought a facial steamer and I haven't bought a garment steamer. What I do have, and I've been using for a few years, is the QREDEW. It's got a little tank, fill it up with water, plop it right in, and let there be steam. Something that's really cool about a handheld steamer is you have complete control over where you are putting the steam. The other really cool thing about the QREDEW is it is intended for detangling. Just glide it right through your hair, kind of twist the curl back up, and then you can also kind of plop it right down in. I only hold it for a second or two, and then let it go. The downside is you do have to physically hold this, where a garment steamer or a facial steamer, you do not have to hold, you can just sit. Really just depends on what you want out of a steamer and what the best option is for you. I just like to kind of scrunch my hair with it a little bit to help with some definition. Already a little bit more definition than when we started. If you would like additional definition or hold, this is the perfect time to add in whatever product or to use the DENMAN brush to target specific curls as I showed you earlier. I'm going to root clip and air dry, and I will see you when it's all done. Look at that volume! If it's not obvious, steam refreshes are my absolute favorite and 90% of the time go-to when I just want a little pick-me-up, a little bit more hold, and to add a little bit more moisture. Now let's get into some refresh tips if you are dealing with oily hair. My number one tip for refreshing if you have oily hair is a dry shampoo, but it's applying it at night. This will give your hair a chance to absorb overnight, rebalance, and that way when you wake up in the morning you are way less likely to have oil, if any, and then you have a more accurate picture of what the rest of your hair needs, whether it be moisture, protein, or even a little bit more dry shampoo. The next hack, and this is more for if you are on the go, is oil absorbing papers. Wouldn't recommend these being a go-to because it does waste paper. However, having some here and there if you are out, just like you can use it for your face, you can use it for your scalp, and hair. This isn't going to handle it completely, but it will help keep it at bay, especially if you are on the go. All right, y'all, that is it for this video. Hope you learned something, and if not, at least had a little bit of fun and explored new and different ways to refresh your curly hair to extend that wash day. Lazy curlies unite! If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps support this video and channel. And again, my name is Jannelle. We do all things curly and then some. If you haven't already slammed that subscribe button yet, what are you waiting for? Go slam that subscribe button, hit that bell while you're at it to turn on post notifications so you do not miss a thing. And I will see you next time. Bye!